Hi, for the people who don't know me, I'm Orion's partner. Just wanted to make a real quick statement about some of the bullshit that I'm seeing going on. If you're nitpicking Orion's evidence, unfollow me and go f*** yourself. I know for a fact that Orion is telling the truth. He has so much f***ing evidence. Believe victims, okay? Believe them.
I'm going to start it off like this. If you have not seen Kwite's video, for the record, that's the title of the video, watch it because my video will not do any justice, not nearly as much as it deserves. It is an hour and 30 minutes of completely debunking claims that were falsely alleged on him, nor... as it usually goes. I do feel bad for laughing, but this has happened so many times at this point, where somebody gets falsely accused and then it's open season on the person who was accused until the person who was accused then comes out with something else, and then chances are only 1/2 to 75% of people will actually believe him. We have been going through this cycle over and over again. Slazo, Pro Jared, Vic Mignogna, that was all from 2019. It has happened so much at this point where whenever I hear about, a Me Too situation, an accusation against somebody famous, I just automatically assume it's false. I was just assuming Orion was capping from the beginning. I saw tweets all over the place that was saying hashtag dump Kwite, cancel Kwite, all of the likes. There was even a tweet giving people a 2-day timer to unfollow Kwite or else they'd get blocked. It was like, do you really expect us to be as terminally online as you, bruh? Not like I would actually, follow those kind of people. Of course not. But going into the thick of it, what were the actual allegations levied towards Kwite? What Orion did is basically throw every accusation at the wall to get Kwite. Stuff like not properly using or paying for artwork to actual, everything was thrown at him, and he completely debunks it all.
This is my response to several allegations made against me, the most serious of which being that I a former friend and ex-partner of mine named Orion in Orlando, Florida on February 18th, 2018. This is patently false and completely untrue. Not only did I not assault Orion, I never had any sexual contact with him in any way, shape, or form. I have a lot of evidence to share backing what I say in this video, including a recording of Orion giving a testimony of this exact interaction from late 2018 that directly contradicts his current version of events. This clip is of Orion describing the same day the assault allegedly took place in a video 4.5 years ago, where he has a very different account of how he felt about that day, even in hindsight looking back at it.
Cut to February, where we met up for the second time, and I remember it was February because we went to see Black Panther. It was fun, and I distinctly remember him getting out of my car, but stopping midway and saying, "Just remember, I really care about you," and then closing the door, which made me feel really good because, this was my best friend. We had met up for the second time. He still cares about me.
But here is the worst part. Kwite had to reveal his face. Kwite had to reveal that he is a virgin, and he had to reveal that he has sexual dysfunction and sexual anxiety just to disprove that. Obviously, these are better than being called basically the worst crime there is, but also, he said at the very end of the video, he might be quitting YouTube because of this. And honestly, I can't blame him. He had a good thing going for himself. I stopped watching him in 2019. It's been years since I've really watched him. But, he has 2 million subscribers almost. The fact that he was obligated to make a 1.5-hour video just to debunk a twit longer. That is 3 weeks of his life. He went offline, did not say anything for 3 weeks about the situation, which is the best way to go about it. He made sure he got all of his evidence, all of his facts, and then it's in the video. And I think he he links it in the description as well. He flashes all the messages, everything, just to prove he's completely correct. It was so easy to debunk Orion's erroneous claims. Yet he went above and beyond just to make sure, hey, I am 100% innocent. Because if he did anything lesser than satisfactory, you just know the opinion will be more split than it is right now. Luckily, it seems that the tides are turning because everybody was on Orion's side. Now everybody's on Kwite's side. So I think we're winning. But here's the point that I'm getting to. False accusations ruin lives, they ruin careers, and they basically ruin your mental health because you're going to be thinking about it for quite a long time. I doubt Kwite can see Black Panther again after these accusations, because for those that don't know, the accusation is that he had his way with him before seeing Black Panther. Now that Kwite completely flipped it back on Orion, Orion's not going to be held accountable. Orion has literally nothing of worth to take. This is the issue. Kwite has 2 million subscribers. Yet what does Orion have? Twitter clout. And all of that was built off of Kwite and off of these accusations. The only remedy at this point is to literally take Orion to court, which who knows if Kwite really wants to go through that. That's probably going to be 3 more years of legal battles. Who knows how many legal fees? And Kwite's like, what, 21, 22? Again, if you have not seen Kwite's video, it's an hour 30 minutes. It's amazing. It's not necessarily entertaining, but it proves him 100% innocent. Not only that, but he turns it back on Orion without malice, which is even more impressive because Orion accused Kwite of transphobia, and then Kwite said there's no such thing as a sort, and proved that Orion would actually use transphobic slurs and anti-Asian slurs, which presumably because Kwite is like a quarter Filipino, I believe that's what he said in the video. Not like I really care because they're just words in my book and these are in private DMs, but just because Kwite mentions that Orion used these slurs, he wasn't using it as a weapon to attack Orion. He was just pointing out that that was a hypocritical thing to say, especially when you're attacking Kwite for everything under the sun. So it really showed that this was without malice towards Orion, because if the situation were reversed, you know Orion would take it to the end zone, try to cancel Kwite with literally everything.
If you don't know, I am half Filipino. Orion was aware of this, and it was not a super rare occurrence for Orion to refer to me as a or make jokes about Asian stereotypes that were aimed at me. I thought there was more, but I couldn't find any in our Discord logs, just in the Skype chats, and I didn't get any screenshots back when we had these discussions, so I have no way of knowing if I'm misremembering or if Orion might have gone back and scrubbed it at some point. It would just be speculating. But even at the time, mutual friends of ours would ask if I was bothered by Orion making Asian jokes about me as often as he did in voice calls. I say in those messages it bothered me sometimes, but I want to make it very clear that I do not hold anything against Orion for these individual comments or even as a whole. I was not very concerned by the remarks about my ethnicity back then, and I'm still not today when looking in hindsight.
No, so Kwite is definitely taking the high ground here. And while I'm speaking on the high ground, I think we need to speak to the Slazo situation, as he says at the end. Because if you don't know, back in 2019, I believe it was I'm Alex, he just called Slazo a sex offender, let's just say. Kwite actually distanced himself from Slazo because of that, even though it was provably false, which we later come out to find, but I'm sure it's before the real evidence came out. At the end of the video, he shows complete remorse to how he treated Slazo. Obviously, this would be preferable if Kwite didn't throw Slazo under the bus in the first place, but I'm glad that he has come around and is genuinely remorseful now that the shoe is on his foot.
A lot of people have brought up the Slazo situation from back in 2019 during this whole thing, saying that it's ironic I was part of pushing those allegations and now I'm suffering my own, like it's karma coming around. And I mean, on some level, I can't really say they're wrong. I don't mean in the idea that I knew the allegations were always fake and I was trying to use them to end his career. I did not do that, and I never would knowingly. I'm not certain where the idea of me being malicious in that situation first came from, but I'd been approached by someone I trusted and had other people I trusted vouching for them, and the evidence I'd seen at the time made me believe someone I knew had done something horrible. But with hindsight, it's a lot easier to see how careless and irresponsible I was being. It's because I saw Slazo as a friend that how I handled those allegations wasn't good enough. I failed him as a friend by believing what I saw wholesale and not doing the bare minimum of what he deserved, by not even waiting for him to give his side before making a judgment. An event that has now echoed itself in my life. I have felt guilty that he suffered like that, at least in part because of my negligence ever since, and now I can directly relate to him after going through all the—
In all fairness, the Me Too stuff was just gaining traction in 2019. It really started in 2018, but it was starting to affect YouTubers a lot in 2019. So we did not necessarily have a template on how to deal with it back then as opposed to now. And you can tell Kwite actually learned from the mistakes of other people because he knew just stay quiet and make the video that's gonna disprove it all. It will not be deniable. So that is my take on the Kwite situation. If you have not seen it already, of course, watch it. But if you have just come here because you're aware of Kwite and that situation, I recommend you like, comment, and subscribe, especially subscribing. It really helps the channel. Liking will help the video too. I was hoping to make a stream of this to where I'd react to it, but my scheduling, I just got really busy, so we're gonna have to settle for the video for now. Maybe I could do a more in-depth analysis on a stream once I have the time for it, but the drama will be really dead at that point. So who knows? Who knows? Comment down below if you'd like to see me go over it on stream, to just like dissect exactly how good it is, because it's really the perfect response video. Hit that subscribe button.